For a 3-month-old cub, Kojo, the open plains are not merely a playground, they are a gauntlet of survival.
Below, the plains are a labyrinth of hidden burrows and silent predators, but here, under the heat of the sun, hunger is no longer a dull ache. It is a primal fire. To survive, this cub must make the most perilous leap of his young life. The air is thick with the scent of dry grass and impending storm.
As the sun bleeds orange across the horizon, a 3-month-old cub, whom we shall call Kojo, edges away from his mother's side. His tawny coat is mottled with rosettes, a camouflage designed for the shadows of the scrub. He stares into the thicket, seeing only the shifting ghosts of his own imagination. He tries to pounce, a clumsy imitation of the lethal grace he was born to inherit, learning his way through the golden savanna dust.
He hits the ground, his small frame covered in dust and debris from the dry earth as he blinks in confusion.
He stands statue still, trying to mimic the patient, lethal silence of his pride.
He sees a flicker of movement, a young gazelle grazing near the riverbank.
His muscles coil, a spring tightened to the breaking point.
He strikes, but the tall grass tangles his paws, tricking his inexperienced eye. His jaws snap, but they find only empty air and dry stalks.
He tries again, darting his head toward a flurry of insects, but he is just a little bit too slow.
Each failure drains precious calories he cannot afford to lose.
He is trembling now, his limbs weary, the heat of the savanna seeping into his bones and taking hold of his spirit. The shadows of the trees stretch out, and with them, the predatory gaze of a roaming hyena. Just as the hyena moves forward, teeth bared toward the cub, the atmosphere shifts. The heavy raindrops strike the earth, creating a frantic, rhythmic vibration. A deluge begins, a tropical-style downpour that changes everything in an instant, transforming the dry earth.
This is the unexpected catalyst.
The sudden downpour draws the prey closer, their instincts confused by the storm. The hyena, overwhelmed by the rain and mud, retreats into the safety of the rocks.
Kojo is no longer a victim. He is a predator in the making. The rain acts as a cloak, blurring his silhouette against the dark, wet savanna. He doesn't have to be perfect. He just has to watch for the moment the herd breaks.
He gulps, his senses heightened, his heart drumming against his ribs.
He is energized, his instincts finally overriding his fear.
As the storm peaks, the cub finds a rhythm, moving through the mud with newfound speed.
The mud, once his enemy, is now his terrain.
Sentence.
The climax arrives as the storm begins to break, illuminating the landscape and marking a moment of true Kojo spots a young, lagging wildebeest calf that has fallen behind the rest of the herd grazing in the distance on the open savanna. He holds his breath, his eyes fixed with pure instinct. He ignores the cold of the rain and the fatigue in his legs as he readies himself to launch forward. He pins the calf, not with size, but with the raw spirit of a lion. He has mastered his first real challenge. He returns to the pride, his spirit changed, looking at the savannah with the gaze of a veteran. Lions are social masters, but the path to independence is the hardest struggle in their life cycle. By using the environment to their advantage, they bridge the gap between being a cube and a king.
Kojo's journey reminds us that in the wild, perfection is rarely the goal.
Resilience is the power to endure and find strength in the vast, untamed landscape of the wild. It is the ability to endure the failures and seize the moment when the world shifts in your favor. Even the smallest among us can rule the savannah, provided we have the courage to leap into the unknown.